Hey guys, we are back with some more Seattle franchise mode. And before we start this one off, just wanted to thank you guys for 300,000 views on the channel. That is absolutely ridiculous. Thank you very much for that. And we also, a little bit later on this, but hit 1,250 subs. You know, we're getting closer to 2,000. We're getting there. But anyway, let's get on with the video. And before we start the simulation, a few things we gotta do. First, I'm going to show you guys a line change I made. I put this line back together, the Kreider, Nuge, and Liljegren line, because Kreider got 20 goals last year. Take a look here. And then Nuge got, I think, almost 50 points. Yep, 49. And then Liljegren, I believe, also got close to 50. Yeah, 47. So, that is one reason. And the other reason is because we don't really know what Edward Pody's going to do in the NHL yet. So we're going to play him on the fourth line with Cody Eakin and Kyle Okposo. Defense is the same. Power play, well, we have mowers there. I initially put Okposo in the video, but I edited in that I put mowers there. So there he is officially. And I believe, yeah, I think it was the four-man power play. Instead of mowers, I think I had Nuge. So because I put mowers here because he is the shooter. And Henrich is the playmaker. Hopefully we get some good chemistry out of them. Instead of having Nuge and Henrich together, both playmakers, that might be an issue. So, and one other thing that I forgot to mention, I changed Henrich, Zadina, etc. to all their respective positions that they play now. So Foss is now a right winger, Zadina is now a center, Henrich is now a left winger. And I believe that is it. Yes, it is. Everything else is the same, including scratch players. Goaltenders, we're all good. There we go. There are the lines. Now let's check out the draft class for this year. Oh, there you go. Draft class. And I believe we have our first franchise player on the board. Yes, we do indeed. Since I don't even remember the last time there was a franchise player in this GM mode. Jeremy Esposito, the center power forward from Portland in the WHL. I mean, no surprise there. Benjamin McKee, supposed to go second overall, two-way defender. AJ Visakis, left wing two-way forward. Jesus Cope, offensive defenseman. Howard Iverson, two-way defender. Randy Eminger, two-way forward, center. Clifford Kovalchuk, the power forward center. Terry Peros, the left wing playmaker. Danny Germain, the right wing sniper. And Josh Purcell, the center two-way forward, rounds out the top 10. So there you go. There's that. I mean, I don't expect to pick in the top 10 this year at all. And if we were going to pick in the top 10, it would have been with the Detroit pick. And that now belongs to Arizona because of the trade that we made for Vandermeer. So let's just go to WHL anyway for 6 weeks. Doesn't really matter. I mean, at this point, any draft pick that we get is probably trade bait because, you know, we just, unless we have like a Jake Fawcett situation where we get an 80 overall in the second round, because other than that, it's just not happening for any draft picks from here on out. So, what else was I doing? Oh yeah, so what we have to do now, before we start the simulation, I believe this is the last thing, is turn on auto-rotate goalies, as we turned it off when we had Korpisalo and Lop going back and forth. Now that Korpisalo is our undisputed number one, we can sort of move forward with him. And actually, I'm going to go back in here and turn off injuries for the preseason, because again, don't need any of that nonsense happening. So injuries off for the preseason. Let's just fly through it. We'll get right to the regular season, because I know it's been quite a few episodes without any real simulating, seeing how the team is doing sort of thing. It's only been off-season stuff, trades, draft, all that. So we'll just skip right past the preseason, get to that game against Vegas, and I'll see you guys there. All right, so regular season time. Here we go. Looks like we did pretty well for ourselves in the preseason, but not that I care. Settings, rules, let's turn the injuries back on. There we go. And let's get into the start of the year number 8 regular season. Here we go, boys. Hopefully it's a good one. That's all I really have to say. Did we go scouting? Yes, we did. Yes, we did. And I'm actually, before we start officially simulating, I'm going to edit the trade block a little bit so that we don't get too many spam offers to start the season out. Because as of right now, we don't really need anything. I mean, we're a complete team at this point, so really it's just about finishing. So there's not much else I can do, I think, that could make this team any better. We're deep. We have two top 2 defensemen. We have a deep defensive core, deep forward core. We have the stud forwards. We have the stud goaltender. We have a backup goaltender. We've got everything. We've got scoring. We've got physicality. We got defense. We got pretty much everything a team could ask for. We've even got an enforcer. So there's really not any excuses this year. That being said, we are still a fairly young team, but these guys have been in the NHL long enough now to where they need to learn to kind of get it together towards the end of the season. Guys like Henrich, Crab, De Silva, Mowers, all of them got to learn to step up towards the end of the year. So, I mean, I don't think that too many of them really had an issue with postseason production or late regular season production, but I just need to see some, I guess, consistency out of those guys. So, first game of the season versus the Vegas Golden Knights. Let's do the slow sim, as this is a pretty special game. First game of the season. First period, goal by Timothy Liljegren on Peter Mrazek, and then goal by Chen on Korpisalo. Second period, goal by Nekas on Korpisalo, and then third period, okay. 5-2 game. It's only game 1, boys. that doesn't hurt us too much. Boychuk with the goal, but then McLeod, Soshnikov, and Fukufuji with the goals for Vegas. So that's a little unfortunate. Lost our first game of the season, but this team can always rebound, especially only after one game. So we will go, I guess we'll go for the first month, see how things go. And we have a little bit of a home stretch there from the 21st to the 28th, San Jose, Florida, Chicago, and Toronto. And we are starting out the season 1-3 so far. Ooh. That doesn't look too good. Especially for the reigning President's Trophy winning team 2 years in a row. But we all know that doesn't matter towards the end of the year, because at that point you're just focused on the playoffs. So a couple of big wins there against San Jose and Chicago. But a little shaky so far. A little shaky. But I'm not going to change anything, because sometimes that's just what happens. You just never know. And the Oregon Trail seem to be doing pretty well for themselves there. 9-1. So that's at least something good happening this month for this organization. Let's go one more month, and then we'll check out all the stats. Because, again, there's not really much that's worth changing right now, as we could just get right back into form with the roster that we have. But, oh my, what is going on there with those 2 losses against Buffalo and Anaheim. But there you go. 2 wins against Nashville and New Jersey to take us back to where we were before. But now we have, all right, we're getting a little shaky now, and we're in November. All right, if we get 2 more losses, I'm going to stop it. There's a win against Arizona. All right, there you go. Starting to get there. There you go, 5-3 win. Okay, we're finding our rhythm. We're finding the rhythm that got us that President's Trophy last year and the year before that. Colorado, oh dear. Nelson Crabbe has been injured with an injured groin. Estimated return is December 3rd. That should be within a week, I believe. I'm pretty sure that's soon. So we are going to throw Henrik Edler in there, getting his first opportunity in the NHL. Now, who am I moving up? I think Henrich, I think it's got to be De Silva. He's the goal scorer there on that second line. And now, This gives Mowers the opportunity to be the primary goal scorer on that second line. We'll move up Nuge so that there's a playmaker there. And we will... what do I want to do with Pody and Edler? How's Pody done so far? 3 goals, 2 assists in 22 games. +1 in 12 minutes of ice time. 36% of the faceoffs that he's taken so far. Oof, that is rough. His giveaway takeaway ratio is even. Let's see, is there anybody else? I mean, maybe Eakin. What's Eakin done so far? 6 points. 55% on those faceoffs. Okay, we have to give Eakin the shot on that third line there. So it will be Pody, Edler, and Okposo on the fourth. And I mean, I guess Edler and... Between Edler and Pody, I guess since Pody has the higher faceoff rating, we'll go with him in the middle, but he hasn't been too great so far in the 30 faceoffs he's taken, but those are all more than likely penalty kill faceoffs as he is in the faceoff dot there. So let's go for the 3-on-3. So Zadina, Nuge, De Silva, Henrich, Mowers. Alright, let's see. I think I want to put Liljegren here. Just to try something out. Go for 2 defensemen, 2 natural defensemen on the 3-on-3. And of course, Liljegren acts as a forward for the majority of the time anyway. So we'll try him out there. And we'll go a couple more games here against Colorado. There you go. 4-0 win without Nelson Crabbe. And 2-0 win. So 2 back-to-back shutouts without Nelson Crabbe in the lineup. And he is back, but not so much as... It did say December 3rd. So I'm going to wait these 2 games against Dallas and Detroit before we put him back in. We'll have him back in for Winnipeg. But first... we're going to check out the stats. So Danny, oh boy. So we're sitting in 3rd right now in the Pacific Division. But Danny Henrich with 27 points so far on the campaign. Very good. +10. Can't complain about that first line really at all. Zadina, 23 points in 23 games. Crabbe with 20 points in 22 games. +10. Really nothing to complain about with that first line. Timothy Liljegren with 17 points in 23 games on the third line. De Silva with 13. Mowers with 11. Nuge with 9. Vandermeer with 9. Pouliot with 9. Kreider with 8. Fawcett with 8. Pody with 6. Eakin with 6. Okposo with 5. Boychuk with 5. Bruce with 2. Edler with 1. Pistola with 1. Lalonde with nothing. So let's see the plus-minus categories. So Zadina, Henrich, and Crabbe, they're all good. Pistola, Bruce, Lalonde, Liljegren, all good. Pody is good. Pouliot's good. Fawcett, Edler, Eakin, Mowers, all plus as well. De Silva's even. Vandermeer minus. Kreider minus. Boychuk minus. Okay, so something's going on there. That's a little odd. What's even more surprising is that Vandermeer has more penalty minutes than Lalonde does right now. So let's take a little deeper look at the stats, see if we can change anything around. Because we do... Well, I mean, you know what? We're winning right now, so a lot of these stats might be from the beginning of the season when we were struggling a little bit. So, I mean, I guess I won't change anything around for right now, just because, again, we're on that winning streak. But we at least have to get an idea of what we could change if we need to change something within the next month or two. So Crabbe leads in shots as per usual, 74. De Silva with 66. Vandermeer with 60. Zadina 59. Mowers 57. Henrich 52. And then as we go down here, the least shots, Henrik Edler with 0. I mean, he's only played like 1 game. Lalonde with 10. Okposo with 19. Fawcett with 23. See the shooting percentage. Henrich with 19.2. Very nice. Zadina with an 18.6. Liljegren with a 14.7. Kreider with a 12.1. Crabbe with a 10.8. Okposo with 10.5. Ice time. Boychuk 24.40. Vandermeer 23.45. Zadina 21.17. And face-offs. Liljegren's a 78.6. The natural center is Timothy Liljegren, apparently. Chris Kreider, 58.3. Same thing with De Silva in the same amount of faceoffs. Eakin, 56.1. Let's see. Nugent Hopkins. Wow, that's the first time I've called him Nugent Hopkins, I think. Nuge with 51.5. Zadina, 50.8. Mowers with a 44.9. That's a little shaky. Pody with a 32.6. Again, that's unfortunate. Hits. Bruce, 51. Vandermeer, 46. De Silva, 44. Crab, 42. Zadina, 34. Lalonde, 26. Liljegren, 26. Kreider, 26. Eakin, 24. Okposo, 21. Pistola and Pody, 13. Boychuk and Henrich with 12. Fawcett with 8. Mowers, Nuge with 7. Pouliot with 5. Edler with 1. Blocks, Vandermeer, 36. Boychuk, 34. Bruce, 28. Pouliot, 25. Lalonde, 25. Pistola, 17. Fawcett with 9. Eakin with 8. Pody with 7. Crab with 6. Liljegren and De Silva with 5. Okposo and Zadina with 4. Henrich with 3. Kreider with 2. Nuge with 1. Mowers and Edler with 0. Giveaway takeaway. Edler with 1 takeaway. No giveaways. Pistola with 6 and 19. Liljegren 6 and 13. Pouliot with 7 and 10. Vandermeer 8 and 20. Lalonde 8 and 18. Okposo 11 and 4. De Silva 11 and 8. Pody 12-12. Eakin 12 and 11. Kreider 12 and 7. Boychuk 12 and 25. Bruce 12 and 20. Nuge 14 and 9. Crab 17 and 14. Zadina 17 and 14. Mowers with 19 and 10. And then Fawcett with 23 and 10. Henrich with 29 and 12. Marcel Lalonde with 3 fights. Vandermeer with 1. So that'll be about it for skaters. Let's check goaltenders. How's Corpusalo doing? My man. 916. He's not doing bad, but he's not doing great either. Not living up to his potential that he showed last year. 938 held throughout the year. So it'd be nice if he got going a little bit there. Vorobiev with a 934 so far in 5 games. Good idea to bring him back. Now, I noticed in the editing of that video, of the last video, that Vorobiev was actually Calgary's number 1, which I honestly did not notice until I went into editing. So, because I just assumed that their other goaltender with a relatively high trade value was a high overall as well. And I guess I don't know what I was thinking there, but I guess I was just too caught up in the potential of bringing Vorobiev back, because it would be a great story with him being a reacquisition and an original draft pick. Anyway, let's check the AHL, see how all of our guys doing down there. Ross Downey with 29 points. Nicholas Hansen with 23. Trevor Morris with 16. So maybe a possibility, bring up Ross Downey or Trevor Morris, who appear to be ready. I believe they're the only other NHL guys down here that we have. I don't think anyone on defense is. No, they are not. But Downey and Morris are still down here, who could be called up for the NHL if needed. So let us go. I guess we'll simulate one more month, see how we're doing. And Oregon is tearing it up, 16-4-3. So let's go one more month here. Just see how we do. We got a little bit of a bye week right there after the Rangers. Scout, let's go U.S. forwards, 6 weeks. Dallas, Detroit. Okay, actually, you know what? I forgot. Gotta get Grab in there. That might help, especially with all the losses we've been taking as of recent, and those were not 2 losses that I like to see there, Seattle. So we will get the original lines back together. Nuge down here. Eakin down here. Pody down here. Actually, how's Edler doing? 4 points in 4 games. Oh, wow. Okay. So has Pody 8 in 26? Okay, so he's turned it on a little bit. How's Eakin? 6 points. No, I need Eakin for face-offs though, right? Yeah, I need Eakin for face-offs. So who am I taking out here? Pozo, I mean, he's got a great takeaway giveaway ratio. Good fourth liner. Kreider, what's he doing so far? 8 points. I mean, could be doing a bit better. So yeah, we'll take Kreider out. We'll see what happens there. I suppose we'll get. Yeah, we'll give Pody a shot on the third line, and we'll also give him the center chance. And then Edler can take Pody's place on the fourth line. And then Nuge, so that's Nuge, Pody, Liljegren, and then we'll get Crab back on the first line right wing. And then power play, oh, okay, that might be a problem. Henrik Edler, for some reason, filling in on the power play. How many power play goals does he have? He has 1 power play point. But no, we need our man Nelson Crab back on there on the power play. And yeah, here too. I don't know why it didn't show me that I needed to change that. So 4-on-4, yep, gotta change this too. 4-on-4 extra, yep, that's good. Liljegren, gotta put Crab back in there. That's good. Zadina mowers, shootouts. Henrik Edler taking Crab's place everywhere. And there you go. Okay, so not great as of right now. We took those 2 L's earlier against Dallas and Winnipeg. If we go on any more of a slide, then I think we'll stop it. So we'll go a few games at a time. Minnesota, New York, Boston. What do we have here? We have a win. So a little back and forth right now is Seattle. 4-1 win. 4-2 win. All right, we'll keep going. We'll keep going. I can deal with that. Go 4 more games here. Tampa Bay, Washington, Vegas, and Columbus. There you go. Nice win. Nice win. All right. That's what I like to see, boys. Starting to turn it on. Vegas, 3-1 win and a 2-1 win against Columbus. Okay, this team is starting to gel. This team is very much starting to gel. It just had to get over the hump, I guess, of losing Jonas Brodin as their captain, replaced by Craig Vandermeer. And speaking of which, that was the thing I forgot to do at the beginning of the video. I forgot to set a captain. So let's check that right now. So it has 3 alternates in Nuge, Zadina, and Boychuk. I agree with that, actually, for the most part, besides the lack of captaincy. And the captain, I made up my mind, is going to be Filip Zadina. He's had, I believe, the longest tenure here of any of our drafted players. He's a really solid player. He gets points. He's good defensively. He gets hits. He wins faceoffs. I mean, there's really not much to not like about him. So he is the new captain. He is the second captain in franchise history of your Seattle Emeralds. And then Boychuk serving as the new alternate. So that's out of the way. Let's get back to the simulation. Game against the Rangers coming up here on the 21st. And 3 more games left in the month. 4 more games, actually, left in the month total. 4-0 win against the New York Rangers. Very nicely done, boys. That's what I like to see. And that was the first loss in how many games? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. So we had a good stretch there where we were lossless, or in other words, on a winning streak. That might have been an easier way to say that. So really can't complain here. I mean, the beginning of the month was a little shaky, as was November and October as well, but it looks like we finally found our groove here in December, starting with that game there against Minnesota. We were 22-12-3, so we're definitely back on track. So 47 points so far on the season. I believe that is second in the NHL. Yes, it is. Only second to the Dallas Stars. Where's Arizona? 48 points. Okay, so I'm just interested to see that. I'm also interested to see where Detroit is. Oh yeah, they're pretty good. They're pretty good. 42 points so far in the year. 20-15-2 for the Detroit Red Wings. So let's check the stats one more time. I think we'll call it here. Hey, you know what? We got time. Only 28 minutes into this video. We'll go one more month. Plus, we've been on a roll, so not much of a reason to change anything. Oh, did not mean to back out. So, let's go back into the calendar. Up to the game against Arizona. And we might stop it there. Because in the next episode, I do want to do a commentary third period. As there will be some pretty important games in the next episode. Or there, at least there should be. So, want to do that. And I want to leave some important regular season games left for it. And I also want to do the trade deadline in that video. So let's see, U.S. defenseman, 6 weeks. And it appears, as I was talking, we went on a little bit of a slide there with the loss against Florida, Chicago, St. Louis, and Carolina. But we were back to our winning ways with the wins against Buffalo, Anaheim, Nashville, New Jersey, and Edmonton. Overtime loss there against the Habs, but it looks like all 4 of our last games in January went to overtime. Overtime loss against the Habs, overtime win against Vancouver, overtime win against Philly, and a 2-1 overtime loss against Arizona. So we are 30-14-6 at February 1st now. First in the Pacific, and I believe tied for second in the league, only to the Arizona. Of course, the Arizona Coyotes are in first in the league. So we get the star defenseman, one of their star defensemen, and they're still good. They're still really good. So, I mean, it's clearly worked out for both parties so far, but the main point of that trade was to get some stud defensemen for the playoffs. So, it's actually yet to be determined. Henrich with 50 points in 50 games. Zadina with 43. Crab with 40. Liljegren with 32. Vandermeer with 29. De Silva with 28. Nuge 28. Mowers 25. Fawcett 25. Pouliot 20. Boychuk 19. Pody 17. Opoza 13. Eakin 13. Edler 12 and 28. Not bad. Really not bad for Henrik Edler. Chris Kreider 8 and 26. Minus 3. Bruce plus 22, 6 points. Pistola, 2 points, plus 17. And Lalonde plus 13. So Lalonde's doing pretty well for himself defensively. Let's check the plus minus here. Only Kreider is a minus so far, and he's scratched right now. So we have a pretty good team on the ice at all times right now. Especially that first line. Penalty minutes, Lalonde 80, Vandermeer 76, and then other than that, we're pretty disciplined. Power play goals, Crab with 4. Power play points, Henrich with 8. Shorthanded points, Eakin, Boychuk, Bruce, Fawcett, and Zadina have points on the penalty kill. Game winners, Zadina with 5. Shots, Crab with 189. Silva with 140. Vandermeer 133. Mowers 126. Zadina 122. Henrich 106. Shooting percentage, Zadina with a 14.8. Henrich a 14.2. Nuge 13.8. Time on ice, Boychuk 25.01. Vandermeer 23.50. Zadina 21.08. Bruce 20.27. Pouliot 19.21. Crab 18.17. Henrich 18.05. Faceoffs, Eakin 56%. Nuge 51. Zadina 50.2. Mowers 45.5, so we might be able to change that. Same thing with Pody, 45.3. Edler 33.3. Opoza, okay, so they're not centers. Hits, Bruce 125. De Silva 95. Vandermeer 93. Zadina 83. Crab 78. Eakin 62. Lalonde 59. Opoza 54. Liljegren 51. Boychuk 40. Blocks, Boychuk 72, Lalonde 62, Vandermeer 61, Pouliot 60, Bruce 59, Pistola 42. Giveaway takeaway, Henrich 51-24, Fawcett 46-24, Zadina 40-29, Mowers 34-16, Crab 34-24, Nuge 30-24, De Silva 29-24, Eakin 29-21, Pody 28-25, Bruce, 24-58. Pozo, 23-13. Liljegren, 21-22. Boychuk, 21-54. Pouliot, 19-26. Edler, 19-12. Lalonde, 18-49. Pistola, 18-34. Vandermeer, 17-33. Kreider, 14-9. And then fights, let's see. Lalonde with 12. Vandermeer with 2. And then goaltenders, Korpisalo, 9-16. And then Vorobiev, my man, 941. He might grow in the offseason, boys. He very well might. 15 games played already with a 941. That's pretty solid. What is it about these backup goaltenders? They're always doing so well for themselves. Speaking of which, let's check out how our man Brendan Lopp is doing in Detroit. So he has what? Detroit. What are you doing, Detroit? Seriously. What are you doing? What? I mean, I know this is none of my business here in Detroit, but what are you doing, Detroit? You have a stud goaltender in Brendan Lopp, who just came off of a 925 season, and he now has 941 in 18 games, and he is not the starting goaltender. What are you doing? Jeez. I'm sorry, Brendan Lopp, if I just ruined your career by trading you to Detroit, who is treating you like a backup goaltender. If they're treating you like a backup goaltender, they don't deserve you. They should just release you. Jeez. So if we face Detroit, you're saying if we go to the finals and we face Detroit, we're going to be facing Antti Raanta. Okay. Jeez. All right. Whatever. Let's also check on Arizona. I'm interested to see how they're doing point-wise without Vandermeer. So Ekman Larson, 37 points, but then Chikrin, 18, Dahlin, I should say, 18. Lowry, 8, Vatanen, 8, Brodin, 7. So, I mean, Brodin's doing pretty well defensively there, +4. And 71 hits so far, so he's definitely got that physical role on the team. But we're not the Arizona Coyotes. We're not the Detroit Red Wings. We are the Seattle Emeralds. So let's take a look at the standings here, see what could be improved, if anything. Goals for per game, we are first in the division, 2.98. Goals against per game, we are tied for first in the division, 2.18 with the Edmonton Oilers. Power play, okay. This could change. This could change a lot. 14.4. Ooh, that's rough. That's ugly. That is very ugly. Luckily, the penalty kill seems to be doing all right for itself. Third in division, 85.2. Last 10, 7, 1, and 2. But that power play absolutely needs to change. Something is not right there. Ooh. All right, so that's something to take into consideration. Edit the power play lines a little bit. We'll see if we can come up with something here, but I want your guys' feedback in the comments. What should we do with the power play? Because I can't not touch a 14.4 power play. This was literally the best power play in the league last year, and it is now one of the worst. So I have no idea what's going on, but it needs to be fixed. So what should we do in the power play? I'll show you guys the other options. Here we got Fawcett, Pozo. Could put Dano in if we have to. So could put Kreider back in. See what Mowers has done on the power play. 3 points so far. Nuge, 3. So maybe we consider balancing out the power plays a little bit. Like maybe we have Zadina and Henrich on this one, and then we put Mowers right here, and then Crab down here with Nuge and De Silva, something like that. Let me know. And that'll be about it for this one. Let me know what you guys think. Any suggestions for the power play? And I'll see you guys in the next one.